everybody. Welcome to my currently unnamed draft series. You can consider this to be sort of the pilot episode. Yeah, we're going to be doing an M15 Swiss draft today. Pretty normal sort of drafting procedure here. I do aim in the future to be adding sort of stipulation drafts, things like rare drafting or forcing a monocolor or drafting in alphabetical order or things like that. But for today, it's just going to be a normal draft, so I'm going to join in that, and yeah, I'll catch you when we get back. Alright, we've started. Let's see what we get. Pack one, pick one. Genesis Hydra is definitely a good playable bomb card. Besides that, Gravedigger can be fun. Siege Worm, of course, a good top-end card. Unlikely that we're going to wheel that back around if we take the Hydra. But I think the Hydra is straight up the best pick here. It's a bomb, it's a creature, it's just everything you kind of want in your pack one, pick one. Coming back around, I don't know what I'd want here. We have to see maybe what other colors we go in. But for now, Genesis Hydra. Obviously, getting that Siege Worm back would be fantastic, but any creatures mid to large sized would be good with this guy. Alright, so coming back around, we've got an Ajani's Pride Mate, a Juggernaut. Flesh to Dust is a bit expensive, but it's still unconditional removal. A Netcaster Spider. Good on color, all around sort of common. Or Inferno Fist is a fantastic card. Best card in the pack, I'd probably have to go with Flesh to Dust. I kind of want to stay on color. I don't know if that's a smart move. Should often stay open in your first few picks. If I were to go aggro, Inferno Fist would be great. But I think maybe I want to go large green creatures, sort of green stompy. And so Netcaster Spider might be where I go. Probably should stay open, but I'm going to force this here. Pick 3, we have Grind Clock. That's a no-go. Gather Courage is a good on-color green card. Borderline Minotaur, or Marauder rather, is fantastic. Resco Swiftclaw, sort of the white version of a 2-drop that's super aggressive. Curse's Spirit, of course, really good unblockable. We did just pass a Flesh to Dust, though. So I think arguably the question here is, do we want green-red or do we want green-white? Green-white, of course, gives us access to Convoke. If we can pick up Triplicate Spirits or anything like that, it makes Siege Worm even better. Green-red would need to be sort of on the ground, aggro. So I think I personally like the white here. Green-white's maybe a little bit better. There's nothing in either color that we'd want to wheel. Maybe the Divine Favor as a last pick from this pack, but Swiftclaw it is. Alright, this pack we've got a Turn to Frog, Coral Barrier. And that's about where it peters out. So two pretty good blue cards here. Blue might be open to my left a little bit, or at least it is so far. On color card, Shaman of Spring can definitely get those later if we need it. Zoff Shade's okay, can definitely get those later if you need it. I'm personally inclined to take the Turn to Frog, see if maybe green-blue is an option. It's almost a removal spell. Obviously you need something else to back it up with, but a 1-1 is all you need to back it up with, so we'll go with Turn to Frog here. Let's see, we've got First Response. What is that? Lose a life. No, we don't want to be losing life. That's not ideal. On color, we've got Moss Beast, which is terrible. It's just far too expensive. Its ability is too expensive for what it does. Satyr Wayfinder is okay if you want to build around it. Zathrad's Slide Blade is quite good. The Hexproof, the First Strike Death Touch. Don't necessarily know if we want to grab a third color, but it would suggest it's opened. What have we passed? We passed a Flesh to Dust. Not much else. That might... Questions here. So there's no blue. So that's kind of strange based on the last picks. But I think maybe we'll just stay on color with the Satyr Wayfinder. It's an okay pick. It's a 2-drop. It can fix your or speed up your mana. That can really speed up your mana, of course, and that might be what we take here. Hunt the Weak. You can definitely pick those up if need be. White cards are terrible. There are no blue cards. The red cards are okay. Rummaging Goblin's goodish. Kurkash is just not good. There's no real artifacts that you're going to be planning on copying their ability too often. So I think we just go with the ramp here. Let's just ramp into a big Genesis Hydra and any other big green creatures we get. And of course there's another one. We don't necessarily want a second one. Titanic Growth is a good combat trick, of course. Typhoid Rats is a pretty good black creature. It's strange to see that so late here. Gather Courage keeps us on color. Nimbus of the Isles is good as well. Don't know if I want to be blue yet. I haven't seen much white at all. I have seen black. There's that Zathrid Slyblade, now a Typhoid Rats. So it might be worth picking that. I feel like I've already seen 2 of these. I can probably get more. So let's take the Typhoid Rats. And we're back on the blue plan, Coral Barrier. Hot Soup, not really worth a card. It's just not useful enough. Foundry Street Denizen, we don't have any red. It's also not great as a card. Fountain, no. Hydrosurge, no. Very sideboard, absolutely not. So I guess we take the Coral Barrier. So this is my pack back. Of course the Siege Worm is not there. But we have a Wall of Mulch, which is an 04. Sack a wall, probably it, and draw a card. If I did go blue, I have a Coral Barrier. I could sack 2 for card draw. The other option here is really just, do I take the sideboard Artifact Enchantment Destruction? And I can definitely get those later. So I guess we take the on-color wall. So we've got an Endless Obedience, which is 4 black Convoke, and I get to put a creature from a graveyard onto the battlefield. It's okay, but not great, and you're probably going to end up with there not being any good targets and it sitting in your hand. Other than that, we're really not red. Mind Rot's not that great. Chrono Stutter, I guess, is the best card here. We do have 2 blue cards, so let's take another blue card. Fugitive Wizard is terrible. Obviously, a vanilla 1/1 is not something you want anywhere near your deck. Act on Impulse, I personally really don't like it. You're going to pay 3 mana to get it out there. You're going to need mana left over to cast the cards that you reveal. And it's just not good. Circle of Flame also not good, so I guess we take the Mind Rot. We have the Typhoid Rats, but I don't know if we're going to go blue or not. Let's just keep our color menagerie going here and take a sideboard white card. That's obviously not going to be main deck. So we've got Moss Beast or Necromancer's Assistant. When it enters, I mill 3. I do have the Satyr Wayfinder. I didn't take that Endless Obedience, but I guess we'll go with that. And Staff of the Death Magus is no-go, mountain, sideboard. I don't think we'll really try to go the Dredge plan here. I think maybe, well, there's a Resolute Archangel. So green-white might be back on the table. Otherwise, we've got, on the blue plan, Diffusion Sliver, not that great. Amphin Pathmage is decent. Elvish Mystic keeps us on the plan. I personally think maybe I just want another bomb and then really push white. I think white was being drafted on my left, so maybe I can take it from the right. This pack gives me a bomb, goes with the Swift Claw. There's nothing really blue on color that I want. There's nothing really black that I want. So, I think I take the bomb, and maybe I try to go white. Sliver Hive Lord, is that worth anything? I don't think so. No, it's only worth like $1.50. So we've got Marked by Honor if I wanted to continue the pushing the white plan. Overwhelm is a pretty good green card. Though I could use some more creatures. Blue is not... Well, Research Assistant and Aeronaut Tinkerer are okay. Black's not great, so maybe we just take the white card. Keep trying to push the white plan, go green-white. That Overwhelm would be nice, but I'm still iffy about how many creatures I'm going to have. I think I'd rather cut white, so let's take that Marked by Honor. It's not a great card, but it is what it is. White, we've got Kernsville Skirmisher. Nightfire Giant, unfortunately, very out of our colors. Ornithopter, hell no. Shadowcloak Vampire, no, I don't think we're going to be black. Let's get the black cards out of there. Let's get that Chrono Stutter out of there. Welkin Turn, obviously a very good blue card. Welkin Turn versus Kinsvale Skirmisher. Since I really want to go into white with that Archangel, that Oresco Swiftclaw, I think the Skirmisher might be the way to go. Maybe get the Titanic Growth or the Netcaster Spider back around. Let's see. White is gone. Green is still here with a Charging Rhino. Perfectly good pickup. Nothing wrong with it at all. Nice curve topper. Not quite bomb status, but still pretty good. I think that's really the only thing in the pack for us. I think we're really sort of shipping on black, so the Accursed Spirit is gone. M15 Pathmage, as I said, still decent-ish. Those two blue cards are not enough to force us there, though, so we'll take the Rhino. And I think we will ditch these blue cards for good. Yeah, I think we will. So we've got an Encrust, which of course is the blue card that would be great, but I don't think it's what we're going to go with. We've got an Undergrowth Scavenger that can combo with the Satyr Wayfinder if I mill something big away, but of course I probably just want the big thing. We do have a Heliod's Pilgrim, which currently could hit Marked by Honor, and that is all. But it is a white creature. It would help us cut white a little bit more. It's a 3-drop. I only have one 3-drop. So I think we'll go for that. Maybe we even get one of these back around. I wouldn't mind one. So there we go. Paragon of Eternal Wilds. +1/+1 to all of my green creatures is just fantastic. There's no other card I'm going to consider here. Ranger's Guile is a good combat trick. Rune Clawbearer is a Rune Clawbearer. Nothing wrong with that, but nothing compares to this Paragon here, so we're going to take that for sure. Let's see, we've got a Hunt the Weak. Nice little removal spell if I have creatures for it. Meteorite, pretty expensive. It is a shock, 2 damage to target creature or player, which is nice, but probably not what I want in this deck. I wouldn't mind getting an Elvish Mystic, though. But yeah, Hunt the Weak, Oppressive Raise, I don't really like it. You know, if you're super aggressive, getting it on turn 1 can be nice just to turn off their first creature, but late game, they'll just pay the 3 mana and block or attack or activate the abilities. So we'll take the Hunt the Weak here. Yeah, so I've got 10 creatures. Got 13 cards. I need 10 playables. Well, I'm going to get a playable out of this pack. We've got a Venom Sliver or a Ranger's Guile. Venom Sliver, of course, gives us the creature we need, and a 1/1 Death Touch. 2/2 Death Touch, if I have a Paragon out, is pretty great. Ranger's Guile, I can probably get one of those. I like to have one. Having the instant hexproof is really nice. It can save your creatures from basically any removal that isn't -X/-X. But the Venom Sliver, being uncommon, we probably won't see another one, and it's just a nice pickup. Obviously, I'm not going to have any other slivers that go with this, but it being a Typhoid Rat for 2 is still perfectly fine. So we've got another Heliod's Pilgrim, still only one aura though, so that's not necessarily what I want. There's that Undergrowth Scavenger I was talking about. It might be the card I pick up. The massive downside was, of course, being 0/0 for 4 if there don't happen to be any creatures in the graveyard. But I think it's the card to go with. Looks like we have a couple slow drafters down here, both having only picked 21 cards. So yeah, I've got 12 creatures, 15 cards. I've got some ramp with Nissa's Expedition. Genesis Hydra, of course, is a top-end card, ideally. Oh, there's that Overwhelm back around. That is what I like to see. Verdant Haven, too, is an okay pickup, but I think Overwhelm is definitely the pick here. I wouldn't mind getting some Runeclaw Bears or just some little guys to go with that, but that is a nice card to see back around. Surprised to see the Tinkerer, too. And the Crowdsaver. Crowdsaver is a fantastic combat trick. But yeah, Overwhelm it is. Speaking of combat tricks, there's a Titanic Growth. I'm perfectly happy with that. Soulmender is a great big no. Ornithopter is a great big never. Miner's Bane, it's okay, but I'm clearly not even flirting with the idea of red now. So Titanic Growth. Clearly not flirting with the idea of red. Let's take a red card. Rummaging Goblin is an okay card, so I'm perfectly okay to not let people go rummaging around. Both of these are bad cards. Nobody's ever going to play that card. Somebody might try to play that card, so I'll take that. Void Snare? Sure. Swamp? Sure. Pack 3, pick 1. What am I hoping for? Nissa would be nice, of course. Really any creature, any sort of bomb creature, any big creature even. It doesn't even have to be a bomb rare. An Ancient Silverback would be nice. Return to the ranks. Convoke. Return X target creatures with converted mana cost 2 or less. Skirmisher, Swiftclaw, Satyr, Wayfinder, Venom Sliver, Mulch. 5 creatures. It's not that many. Stab Wound, Courage Chieftain, Frost Lynx. Oh, this pack is nice for everybody else. So I guess our pick is Midnight Guard or Runeclaw Bear. I think a 2/3 is just better than a 2/2. A lot of creatures in this set have 2 toughness or 2 power, and something with 3 power blocks for days. So I think that might be what we take. It fills up my 3-drop slot as well. Runeclaw Bear probably will come back around, and I will probably take it right away. But for now, Midnight Guard. What do we got here? There's an Elvish Mystic that I'd like. Otherwise, we have a Shaman of Spring now. Divine Favor goes with the Pilgrim, but definitely not taking it over a Mystic. Or a Selfless Cathar. Another 1/1 for 1 with a one-time use ability. I think I'll go for the ramp and the sheer utility of the Elvish Mystic. Elvish Mystic, of course, completely doesn't combo with Convoke, which makes Elvish Mystic a little bit less good in this set, but still a good pickup for sure. So let's see, we're looking at Invasive Species. That would go with Kinsbale Skirmisher, not to Heliod's Pilgrim if we just have 1 aura. Could make the Undergrowth Scavenger bigger. Could put me back to 20. Not great. I think the Razorfoot Griffin might just be the better pick here. Puts me up to 15 creatures. Kind of fills my 4 slot up quite a bit, unfortunately. But I can probably get a Titanic Growth, maybe even that Invasive Species back around. No other cards here are really for me. Alright, what do we have? We have Cavernous Moss Beast, no. Heliod's Pilgrim, no. Pillar of Light is a sideboard card that will probably be what we take. Big thing is that this is toughness 4 or greater. I've seen tons of people try to play this as though it's power 4 or greater. It's definitely not. And as I said, there's a lot of things with 2 power or 2 toughness. There is a number of things with 3 toughness and higher power. I myself have tried to play this against Shadowcloak Vampires, and let me tell you, it doesn't work. That being said, it is a good sideboard card if I do see that they have some big toughness creature. And there's nothing really else here for me. There's no white. I have 1 aura, so I don't even really want to play the first Pilgrim that I have. I definitely don't want a second one. Staffs are useless, so yeah, Pillar of Light, and into the sideboard it goes. Feral Incarnation, I've tried to play this, and it's not great. It's 9 mana, it has Convoke, you do get 3/3/3 beasts out of it, but it's a stretch. I've always sideboarded it out when I've played it, because it just hasn't been great. Willforged Golem, on the other hand, is just a solid 4/4 for usually about 4, assuming you have creatures to Convoke with it, and that's going to be the pick. Wall of Essence is a nice defensive card. I have one Wall of Mulch, and it sort of combos with Wall of Essence. I don't necessarily know if I'd ever want to destroy it unless I just really needed a card. Divine Favor, I don't really want to take that. Invasive Species, let me do that count again. Resolute Archangel, Undergrowth Scavenger, sort of. Kinsvale Skirmisher. I still don't think Invasive Species is worth it, so I think maybe we'll take the Wall of Essence. That does mean that we have 2 walls, 17 creatures, 15 creatures that aren't walls. I do have a lot of high stuff, so yeah, let's go with the Wall of Essence. So there's our Runeclaw Bear, and there's an Ephemeral Shield. Ephemeral Shield is a fantastic spell for protecting things. Having Convoke is amazing because you can be tapped out. People will throw a removal spell or a destroy spell, or even enter into combat with you hoping to trade, and you just blow them out with this tapping a white creature and one other creature. Runeclaw Bear doesn't terribly compare to it, and I've kind of met my creature's level here. Hunter's Ambush, not great. It's better than a Fog, but it's still not great. So Ephemeral Shields. And there's our 23 playables. Let's see if we get anything else. First Response, absolutely not. Restock. It's expensive, but it can be useful. It can bring that Ephemeral Shields back. It can bring back any creature that I maybe really want back that has died. Restocking an Overwhelm would be awesome. I don't think I'll mainboard it, but it is what I'm going to pick here because there's just no other card for me. So we're into the last picks here, so let's start hate drafting, I guess. Crowd's Favor. Probably the card I don't want to see. I don't want to get blown out by combat tricks, especially Convoke ones, as I was just talking about. So let's take that and toss it away. Yeah, I'll take a Divine Favor just in case I cut something else. Sure. Well, let's take the rare. It's a terrible rare, which is why it's back around yet again. But yeah. Carnivorous Moss Beast, not going to play it. Tyrant's Machine, maybe it could come against me at some point. Clear a path. I do have 2 walls. Sure, let's take it. Invasive Species, still not good in my deck. And Island. And there's our draft. 2 rares, Genesis Hydra and Resolute Archangel. I'm pretty happy with both. Both can be quite bomby. My Overwhelm can just sort of get everything through. Doesn't give Trample, unfortunately. That would make it incredibly overpowered, but still pretty good. So there's my deck. A lot of 2-drops. Really could use some more 3-drops and maybe one less 4-drop. I think I like it. Restock, I don't know what I would replace Restock with. Maybe the Wall of Mulch. Maybe if I'm against a really long deck and I need to get my cards back, I might swap in Restock, but I don't think I'll mainboard it. Invasive Species is just a no. Solemn Offering, good sideboard card. Pillar of Light, good sideboard card. Divine Favor, it would give another target for Heliod's Pilgrim, but again, I don't think there's anything I want to take out for it. So yeah, that's our deck. Let's get some lands in there. We're looking at 7 and 10. Sounds about right. Add to the deck and submit. So that was our draft. Hopefully it goes pretty well. This is Swiss, so there will be 3 matches following up, so definitely make sure that you check out those videos. As I said, this is sort of the pilot for this program. I don't have a name or any schedule or anything like that sorted out. If you have any ideas, definitely let me know. As I said, I do plan on doing serious drafts like this one where I'm going to attempt to win. But I also definitely plan on doing stipulation drafts. I just like that idea of getting some random silly rule at the beginning of the draft and then having to draft that way and see what I can do with it. But yeah, keep an eye out on this channel for future content, and definitely let me know what you think.